Taurus, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back to those of you who've been here before, and welcome to those of you who've come over to see what this is all about. Today I'm doing this reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising. If you don't know where those placements are, sorry, and cusp Taurus as well. If you don't know where those placements are, there will be a natal free chart for you in the description box down below. There will be a link for you to go and check out. All you need is your time of birth, your place of birth and your date of birth. And once you put them in, it will come up with your chart and you can check that out. Specifically, if you don't know where your Venus is, it's worth finding out, because this is a love reading. Venus is all about the goddess of love, relationships, values, and so it's worth knowing where any of those placements are. Also, if you are a cusp Taurus, you're going to be coming out of the Aries energy. You will be 0 degree of Taurus. And if you are the other end at 29 degrees, you're moving more into the Gemini energy. So you may want to check out the previous Aries videos that I've done, as well as the Gemini video that I will be putting out soon. So also there was something else that came into my head then. The light's getting really bright. The sun's kind of moved around and I can kind of see this glare from the window across the road. So hopefully it's not going to affect the thing too much, but it definitely has just changed. That's interesting. Right, so carry on. Whatever else comes up, I will talk about it later. So the reading is going to be done with 2 sets of cards, Taurus. This is your deck that I'm using for yourself. You have the 4 of air on the bottom here, and the person that you've got an energetic connection to. Oh my goodness, that's really, really bright. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to pull that curtain. That is far too bright. The squeaky chair. Is that better? Yeah. Yeah, that sun has definitely moved. Right, so yeah, as I was saying, 4 of Pentacles. These are the cards that I'm using for the cross watcher, the person you've got an energetic connection with. It doesn't have to be a intimate personal relationship. That can be somebody who you have a connection with emotionally, friend. It can be a family member. It can also be like a spiritual connection that you have with this person, or a kind of a logical connection, somebody you can really, like, you're on the same wavelength, you can talk to each other about everything and know where each other's coming from. So mostly it is a relationship based energy. That's usually what comes out, but and you do actually have the 2 of Cups as one of the cards here. But let me just tell you, this card is the first card as your overall energy, which I've taken from the goddess cards here. These are just the cup cards in this deck. So I get 1 card from this for your overall, and the Prince of Cups upside down. It came out for me as a very weak energy for some reason, and I was actually given the words while I was meditating on this particular deck, and the words were stand your ground. So I don't know if that's going to make any sense to anybody. Standing your ground over an issue, something that you feel very strongly about. But I feel with this card in reverse, it feels as though there's kind of somebody maybe easy to give in to somebody very easily. Like, you may find it difficult to stand your ground with this person, or to say no to this person. You may find it difficult to stop this person from entering back into your life if they haven't been in your life for a while. If you don't want them back into your life, just stand your ground with the words I was given. And at the bottom we have the 2 of Cups, which is why I'm saying that I do feel as though this is about a specific person that you have had a strong connection with here, Taurus. So also, before I forget, cards are set out in 3 sets of 3. top set is the past energy, the recent past, or the kind of past that's still affecting you now. So it can be recent, it can be childhood, it can be something that just happened a few weeks back. It's the energy that's still there, it's still lingering, it's still affecting you in the present. And the present is the middle set of 3 cards, and then the present to the future, which is the last 3 sets of cards. So it's the present, the past energy kind of making the present energy, which goes on to create that's the word I was looking for, creating the future energy as well. So interesting, like as I was saying, the bottom of this deck we have the 4 of Pentacles for this person, cross-watcher energetic. Again, the cards can be crossed over if it makes more sense to you, the story makes more sense. So cross-watcher, just be aware of that if you're watching this for somebody, just be aware that I say this is for them, this is for the Taurus, but this could actually be your story and this could be their story. It could even be a mixture of both. It's sometimes difficult to tell which energies are which, but I am reading this more as the Taurus energy, so we'll see what comes up. And it feels as though Taurus here has taken a backward step on something. So maybe you are standing your ground here, Taurus. Maybe you're going to be tested with the Prince of Cups here, because the Prince of Cups wants to be loved, wants love, wants to feel love, wants to experience love. It's a young energy, and it's an energy that's learning. It's as it goes, it's maturing. So the only way it can do that is to actually experience it. So it wants to experience what love's all about. How does it feel? How can I give my cup to somebody who's going to appreciate it, who's going to love me back, who's going to want to give to me as much as I want to give to them? That's the energy that I'm getting from this. But with the 4 of air on the bottom of the deck here, it does feel as though there has been this kind of reflective period of time, a step back, a looking at things. Well, this person here is very kind of stubbornly holding on to something. And I also got the word come through like miserly. Like if you look at this person's face, he actually appeared in the Aries reading, the Aries love reading that I've just done as well. So if you connect with an Aries, you may want to watch that reading as well. But he came out slightly differently in that reading. But in this one, he came out immediately as I looked at that face. It just like had miserly written all over it. Like somebody is kind of holding back on something. It doesn't necessarily mean they're miserly with their money. They could be miserly with their energy. They're not wanting to put anything out at this time. They're not wanting to. It's a bit like this card here, like taking a backward step. This person's holding on tightly to something, and it could be their energy. It could be what they value about themselves. They may be feeling that somebody doesn't deserve their energy at this time. So we'll see what comes out. But the first card that has come out is the Emperor. So I feel as though this is you, Taurus, even though it's a Leo energy, it's a Leo card, but it's the Emperor. It's very kind of, it's a proud energy. It's very sure of itself. It's very, you know, it's like the top dog. You don't argue with the Emperor if you don't want to get kind of in trouble, you know. The Emperor, you obeyed the Emperor. So there's a kind of sense of somebody who's very strong in their sense of identity. Even though a lot of that could also be bravado as well, because if you look, he's kind of clothed in all this stuff, which kind of makes him look, it's just like this lion head and all this other stuff. So it's like, you know, how big actually is this body that's underneath all this stuff, you know? So is it kind of a sense of somebody kind of trying to make themselves up to be bigger because they're using that as a form of protection? Are they guarding themselves here? Or have you been guarding yourself here, Taurus? But it feels like a card of kind of somebody who was in their element. They were kind of in their like their domain, ruling over their domain. Like, this is my domain, this is my castle, or like you know, like your home is your castle, Taurus. It's very much a Taurian thing. And again, I can say that because I am a Taurus, so I know what that's all about. That kind of environmental kind of like family, my family, I protect them. It could be very much also, for some Tauruses, it could be somebody who has to play the role of both mother and father. So it could be either a single father, a single mother energy here, but somebody who is very kind of like powerful in their position. And it feels more as though it's powerful in a position of the home, their home, maybe also work, maybe somebody who's a boss, but somebody who's very much kind of like knows their worth, I feel here as well. And the next card we have after this is the Seven of Earth. And today this has come through to me in a very interesting way. I do see this as the distraction card. So I do feel as though this is somebody coming into your life, or did come into your life, Taurus, who kind of created this how can I put it? It's like they brought something with them. It's interesting because how I'm seeing it today, like he's got all these patterns down his shirt. Like, this is you here, Taurus. And then somebody entered into your life, and it's like they've got one of these, and it's like they're saying, look, I've got the other, I've got the next one of those. I've got the one that you're looking for. I've got this. I've brought you this. This is something that you've been waiting for, looking for. And you're kind of going, but I'm here, I'm content. And that's interesting because the reading that I did recently for Taurus, just the general reading, which I haven't actually put out, I'm going to put out later today, but the general reading that I did was literally, I was going to call it content in your discontentment, because that's how it came across, that's what came through. So that's interesting because it's kind of coming through in the same way here. It's like, you know, do I take this risk? Do I take this chance? Is this what I've been waiting for? Because the Seven of Earth often talks about harvest, about reaping the rewards of what you've sown. But that's how it feels to me today, as though somebody has kind of come in with the same energetic kind of vibration or frequency, and they've kind of said to you, look, I've got that as well. This is me. I connect with you. And you, I feel it kind of, because after this we've got the Ace of Fire, so I feel as though it kind of lit something within you that had been dormant for quite some time, this kind of passion and fire, and I'm feeling that this is this kind of thing that this person brought into your life here, is this here. It's like they ignited something that you kind of had given up on, maybe, something that you thought you wouldn't find. Because here's this little fairy sitting up on top here holding this heart. So it's very much about the heart and kind of like the fire, the ignition, the passion, the drive. So that's how it's coming across for me today, that something came into your life and almost kind of disturbed your environment, disturbed your kingdom in a way. That's the word that's coming through. It's like it disturbed your kingdom, like you were the king of your castle. and it kind of set something alight, set something ablaze within you. Brought something to life is how it's coming through. Something brought something back to life. And yeah, so this little fairy here that's dancing around here, that's brought through this, she's sitting on top, literally, the same kind of fairy figure here, sitting on top of that. And I feel as though this is your energy here, Taurus, kind of saying, you know, if I give you my heart, will you look after it? Will you take care of it if I give it to you? Is it something that can I trust you with it? Will you take care of it? Will you be good with it? So, but there is definitely this desire and this flame, this passion, like I said, it ignited something strong. So we have the 10 of Earth. It's the kind of present energy, the first card for your present energy. The 10 of Earth in reverse. So it feels as though there's a situation that you're in now where you are, again, kind of, I feel as though you're on your own. I feel as though that situation may have kind of burnt through quickly, like it was a quick situation, like something that came to life really quickly, but then it kind of died very quickly as well. But that's not to say that it's completely disappeared, because the Two of Cups here would say otherwise. But I feel as though you're kind of in a place of and I feel as though you've been here for a while as well, Taurus, kind of almost wondering what's next. What do I do next? Where do I go next? I've got all this stuff. I've got all this, like, you know, I've accumulated all this stuff, whether it's kind of physical stuff, like with all these pentacles down here and this, like, chest here that's full of all these jewels and stuff, and this kind of wolf that's laying at your feet here. And this wolf kind of feels like a protection, like a guard, like something guarding, like something like you've become closed off again, like you've closed down, like you've kind of withdrawn, is how it feels. Because it's not a very kind of alive card for me. It feels quite kind of, it's not dark, but it's kind of, the light has dimmed, is how it's coming through. It's like there's a dimming of the light. So it feels as though you're in that place at this time, kind of, there is still a light there. If you see, the light is still behind her, but everything else is kind of really dim and like just that the light has dimmed within you. You're not bright, you're not your usual kind of like passionate kind of, it's almost like you've lost connection to your physical world. It's almost like it's like it's there, you know it's there, but it's like it's no longer feeding you in the same way it would normally. It's like it's kind of like, oh, what it's there, what next, you know. It's kind of like, yeah. So there's a sense of kind of success, but at the same time of not success. It's almost like, you know, is this all there is? Is this all there is? Is there not more to life than just this? And it feels very kind of physical, like very much to do with you know, having what you need, and but at the same time just not really appreciating it, or just not really being as connected to it as you normally would be. And I feel as though that it's got something to do with this situation where it kind of burnt through really quickly, and you feel as though you've kind of been burnt out in a way. That's how it's coming through, actually, is this kind of burnt out situation that you think you know, and I need to kind of hide. There's almost a kind of hiding energy behind this, almost a kind of like, I don't want to be out in the light, I don't want to be in the limelight, I don't want to be seen, I want to just kind of, which could also have something to do with this energy as well, as I was saying, this kind of backward step that was taken here. Almost like a hibernation type of energy. But at the same time, like with the Four of Air here, kind of reflecting on what it is that you have, and what does it mean? What's the value of it all? If you're not happy, does it make you happy? That kind of scenario. And if not, what is going to make you happy? So in the center of your reading, we have the Hangman, and the Hangman, or the center card, is always for me the most important card in the deck, because it's kind of where the energy comes out and goes back in from. So the Hangman, although it's in your present now, this is the energy that you find yourself in at this time. Again, it's that kind of taking yourself out of the picture. That kind of like, you know, I don't really want to be involved or connected to it all, is how I'm feeling. So the Hangman is you kind of at this time in the middle, trying to make sense of things, trying to see things differently, trying to let go of something maybe, trying to kind of understand your connection to everything. He's still attached. If you look there, the Hangman's attached by that kind of yellow golden thread that kind of connects him to everything, the universe. It's kind of wrapped around his foot. It's actually kind of wrapped, it looks like it's wrapped around his kind of body parts as well. But there is always a sense for me with this card of kind of like a metamorphic change, like a moth hanging there, like before you go into that chrysalis stage, which is kind of where I think you're at this moment. It's almost like, you know, just that letting it all go, just surrendering it all, because that's kind of what's coming from this, is like, I just need to just surrender it all, just let it all go, just give it up to the universe, is what's coming through here. Just like, you know, I can't do anything about this situation, I'm just going to go with it, just see what happens, just surrender it, let it go, surrender it. And the thing about the Hangman is that it keeps coming, that kind of energy is something that can keep coming in waves as well. It's like a hanging in limbo, but when the Hangman is up the right way, I always feel as though this is a willing thing. This is like something that you kind of have come to terms with inside yourself, that you need to let this go. Because the more you try to hold on to it, the harder it actually is on yourself, the more disappointment there is, the more disconnection you feel, until finally you kind of just admit that this is where you're meant to be, this is what you're meant to be doing, is just like letting go and letting the universe kind of take over. Because it's all about seeing things from a different perspective, having a different look on things, hanging upside down. You see the world differently. And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to see the world differently. And after this we have the King of Water, King of Cups. Again, it's in reverse. So I feel again as though this is a kind of like withdrawal energy as well. It's like withdrawing all your emotional connection. It's almost like if you look at, it's like the physical and the emotional energy, whoops, where'd it go? Energies are kind of being put into, around the right way, are being put into this hangman energy. There's some wisdom here as well with the King of Cups. It's like, I always think of this as kind of like an emotional intelligence. And maybe you're trying to balance something up here as well, Taurus, trying to kind of find some, that should be upside down as well, trying to find some sense of purpose. Because when the King of Cups is upside down, he's not in a place of strength. And that's what I was feeling with this as well, which is possibly also why you're being told to stand your ground. Because he's not in a place of strength. He's in a place of not really knowing his own feelings, his own, it can almost be like, you know, what's my feelings and what's somebody else's? Where's that distinction? And Taurus can be a very kind of emotive energy as well, especially if you've got any water energy in your makeup. So this is the signs of Cancer, Pisces, and brain fog, Scorpio, of course. So yeah, so all the water signs which are very, very intuitive, very kind of perceptive, they kind of really know things on a deeper level. And I feel that this is why this hangman energy is here as well, because this is what you're kind of trying to do. It feels like you're really kind of trying to get to the root of things with these energies. Like, what is the purpose? What is the reason behind all this? Physical environment. Why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing with all this? And like you know, your emotions as well. Emotionally, what am I learning? What am I missing? What do I not understand? So the future energy, we have the Two of Earth, which is, again, I feel as though it's this kind of balance of trying to find that balance between these two energies here, the emotions and the physical realm. Like, how do they work together? It's like you want to kind of connect them somehow, like you're trying to make sense of them, connect them, make them work for you. Because it feels on some level that that's not happening. But here you are in this future energy, like balancing, trying to kind of really decide how to bring them together, how to bring them into the same equilibrium, the same space, the same, like connecting the energies, almost like you're understanding the energies behind them, rather than just them being these kind of vague concepts, emotions, and kind of the physical realm, body, environment, you know, right down to kind of cellular level as well, I feel. So this is you kind of really trying to kind of make sense of it, to bring them together, to make it work for you. because we also have the Five of Earth here. And the Five of Earth today is coming through very strongly as this same kind of energy here. This is you kind of going into this cocoon here. You kind of disappearing, wrapping yourself up. And I see like that it's very similar, even the way it's symbolically kind of like with the arms sticking out and the yellow behind it as well. It's almost like it feels almost as though you could be getting kind of trapped in that energy, kind of stuck in that energy, kind of absorbed by that energy too much and not actually doing anything with it. You're just kind of, it's like you are just soaking it all up is how it feels. It feels like it's just all being soaked up. Like you're really intensely engrossed in it. But what we have coming out after this is this kind of, for me this is like a mini transformation card, because this is like you having this kind of recognition. This is you kind of working out how it all works. What is the magic behind it? And that's what I feel that this is about here. And it's to do with relationships, but it's like, what is the fundamental kind of magic that makes it all come together? What is it that makes it work? What is it that can make it, that transforms? And that's what I feel that you're working through at this time, Taurus, is learning about how to transform your environment, how to kind of like on a level of how can I put it, like law of attraction in a way. If you've heard of the law of attraction, most people have now. How you know how you magnetize things into your life by what you believe and what you think, and how you kind of hold on to those thoughts and keep putting your energy into that place. This is what this is saying for me, that you're kind of realizing that where you're focusing that attention is where you're going to kind of create what it is that you really want. But it does feel as though it is around this energy. It's around this is what you're looking for. You're wanting something that, because it's almost like you were quite satisfied here being on your own and being in your own domain and having that strength, until something kind of brought that into your life very strongly, and now you're kind of, and then it disappeared again. It kind of came in and left, and now you want to know, what was it all about? Why? How? What's behind it all? On an energetic level, on a kind of, it's like on a cellular level, it's like going really down into the depths of it, it feels. Like I said, until you're kind of in this place here. But only by getting into this place here do you have this kind of breakthrough, which is coming from this as well, which is why I feel that the two cards are very closely linked. It's only by kind of really absorbing all of this that this breakthrough happens. And you kind of realize that you are your own creator, like you are the creator of your own domain. You are your own boss in that sense. And that if you want anything to be any different, then it's up to you to make that happen. It's interesting as well, because here she's got a fox laying down in front of her, which is kind of covered over with that Five of Earth writing, which is a shame. But there is actually a fox down here as well. Whereas with this one, there's a wolf laying at her feet. Again, it's a kind of sense of something guarding. It could be like you know, representation of, like, you know, while you're going through this, it's okay, it's safe to do it because you are being taken care of, you're being guarded, protected. So just allow what's going to happen, and just trust the process. Trust that it will resolve. Trust the process you're in. Trust what you're learning. Trust what's, no matter how bizarre it may seem at this time to other people on the outside, it's going to be very enlightening. That's what's kind of coming through here. It's going to be very enlightening. It's going to be very rewarding in the long run, even if it has taken you a long time to get to this place. And it feels like as well with this Two of Earth, and I've got goosebumps, it feels like with this Two of Earth, like once they connect, that's the point. It's like, you know, once they connect, there's this kind of like moment of, like I was saying, realization, but it's also this kind of, yeah, you have to go into this energy of just almost like stillness, which could also have something to do with this as well, maybe meditation. This place of stillness and, do that again, and inner reflection is how it's coming through. So let's see what this person energetically in your life is feeling at this time. It doesn't feel as though this energy is actually physically here. Or even if you have any connection with that energy at all, but it still feels as though there's something keeping it together. And that's interesting. What's coming through here as well, this Two of Earth, is the fact that you've kind of almost kept these two apart, like the physical and the emotional. It's like you've not really worked with them together before as such. It's like you've kept one on one level and one on the other, like you kind of focused maybe more on the physical, like the physical side of things was more important than the emotional, or maybe, yeah, the emotional side of things, but maybe you, yeah, I'm going to stop that there and just say that the physical side became more important to you than the emotional, and that could have had something to do with some past emotional trauma. So, but it is like bringing them into balance, and when they come into balance, when you're working with both of them together, it's almost like that's when the aha moment comes into your life. The aha moment being that Nine of Fire. Oh, there's a lot of cards coming out here, interesting. So we have the Two of Rods in reverse, we have the Emperor again, and the Ten of Pentacles again. So over the top of your Emperor energy, this person, Two of Rods, is saying that this person was looking Like they're holding the world in their hand. I would say that it's like they were looking, and this Emperor is holding the world in his hand as well. This is what I'm saying about this energy here. This person truly believed that they had the kind of missing thing that was for you here, Taurus, that they brought it in. If you see here, this same design as on his shirts here, and it's almost like she's carrying it with her. Never really seen it like that before, but it's almost how it is. It feels like she's kind of bringing it with her, and that's how I feel. It's like, you know, you've got the Emperor, they've got the Emperor. They've got the Two of Rods because it's in reverse, because I feel as though they weren't necessarily ready for this. It was unexpected. It was something that just happened unexpectedly, and they too were in a sense of kind of like in their domain, in a sense of power. And with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse as well, they may have felt that they had to leave something behind. Because it looks to me as though this Emperor, like these two, there's the world in his hand here, and this looks like it could be the world in his hand here. Because the Emperor does kind of hold the world in his hand. It is about kind of making things concrete, making them a reality. And I feel that that's what this person has been trying to do, or was trying to do. But then, you know, two Emperor energies together, powerful, powerful connection. But it could also have been very very harsh. Very, what's the word I'm getting here? Very competitive. Like both of you wanting to be right. Both of you wanting to be top dog. Both of you wanting to impress the other as well. There could have been that kind of energy, like trying to outdo each other, possibly, by impressing each other. And I feel as well with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse that this person was also very much kind of drawn to money. Or it played a very big part in their life. Also feel as though they may have had to have left something behind. In order to make this happen. For some of you, they may have had to have left family. They may have had another family. But when you came along, when they met you, it was like they just realised that that was where they were meant to be. Or the attraction was very strong. With two Emperors there, I mean, that is a powerful energy. Powerful. It's like empire building energy. Like the two of you could have created something really amazing. But I don't feel that you did, because you both got the Ten of Pentacles there. So it's like it didn't work out the way that you were expecting it. It didn't come together completely And this isn't so much to do with emotions and cups. It's not, it doesn't feel like that. It feels more to do with differences of opinions when it came to what you valued, what was important to you. It could also have had something to do with one person having a family that they had to keep giving money to, maybe, like they had financial priorities elsewhere, so they had to kind of put their money elsewhere, and that may have made life difficult for both of you, for them especially. Over the top of the Seven of Earth, we have the Page of Swords and the Death card, which is what I was feeling, was it didn't last long. It was like something that was kind of very quick to happen, happened very fast, and it was very transformative, but it didn't last. It was meant to be, though. It definitely was meant to happen. And I feel as though kind of things were learnt from it as well with this Page of Swords here. Because all the pages are about learning, experiencing. Because you only learn through experience. So, but it feels as though it's very quick energy, very fast energy, very kind of... Page of Swords can also be very like questioning, looking for answers, wanting to know why. Can actually also pick things apart as well, the Page of Swords. You can be very critical. You can pick things apart, so that could also have been kind of partly the reason for why it didn't completely last. It could have been a lot of kind of pointing out each other's faults, maybe, each other's failings, that kind of energy. But it didn't, like I was saying earlier, it definitely didn't last, but it has been transformative. And I feel as though it's been transformative for both of you. This is a big situation, a big energy, a big deal in your life. And I can kind of see, Taurus, why you've gone into this energy of trying to make it all make sense. Not just that, though, it's more than that. It's on a completely different level to that. Even when I say just make it, like, you know, trying to make it make sense, it's not even anywhere near expressive enough of how kind of affected it made you, to the point where you've kind of really gone in depth into all of this. So we have the Queen of Rods and the Star. And the Queen of Rods over the top of the Ace of Fire here as well. So there definitely was strong connection here. Strong passion, love, desire. I'm not seeing an awful lot of love, though, which is interesting. It seems more like it was very much driven by desire and passion and magnetism. Like there was a magnetism which maybe, again, didn't help the situation. It's interesting because she's also got like a lion down here as well. There's a cat on that side, there's a lion on that side. So it can also be about talking about standing your ground here as well. But the Star is definitely saying that this was meant to be. This was a destined moment in your life, even if it was just short-lived. This was kind of like always meant to happen. And what you've learnt from it, which is what I think this 10 Pentacles here, sorry, is about, is the real reason for why you went into it in the first place, even if you're not aware of that at this time, Taurus. This other person was very much meant to come into your life. They're very magnetic, they're drawn to you and you're drawn to them. Or you were very drawn to each other. So let's see why the Ten of Earth is here. Again, I feel as though there's a kind of that sense of transformation. You've got the Death and the Star card together in that kind of same energy. So it does feel as though there was this huge transformative quality to this. And the King of Swords over the top of the Ten of Earth. It's saying to me here that there's a real kind of truth behind all this. There could also be communication. But it feels as though you want to find the truth. It's like we're going to see the Star card here and this star on this sword as well. It's like something's illuminated, something is kind of coming to light. Something's coming to light. It's like you're seeing clearly. You're seeing things clearly for the first time in a long time, maybe, Taurus. You're actually kind of, and you're ready to do something about it as well. You're ready to do something. And not like with the Page of Swords, where it was kind of like very sudden, very kind of unexpected, but rushing into something. The King of Swords here, I feel, is much more kind of like, there's a determination, but he's also, he's wise, he's grown, he's intelligent, he's kind of, he knows how to use his thinking strategic capacities now. And this could be the other person here, Taurus. This could be the other person's energy, that they are seeing things clearer and that they have now matured. Over the top, that's interesting. Over the top we have the Eight of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords, both in reverse, and both of these cards came out in the Aries love reading that I did recently again. So you could be dealing with somebody with Aries in their chart. The Eight of Pentacles over the top of the Hangman. Eight of Pentacles for me is all about lessons. It's all about learning about your own, it can be your trade. But again, because it's in reverse, it just feels to me as though it's like you're not interested in knowing about it on that level. It's like you want to know about it on a deeper level. You're not interested in just how do I make money and what do I do with it. It's like it's not about that for you. It's about something deeper. It's about where does it come from? Where's the history of it, or it's like something much, much deeper is going on here for you, Taurus. It could even be like, you know, what's the karmic connection with this, or the karmic understanding it on a karmic level, energetic level. Because I'm seeing this pentacle here that is kind of working on as also being very much to do with this kind of, sorry about that, there's a bit of a glare on this disc here. It's similar, like hanging on that same kind of energetic connection or level to something. This could also be the other person that you're having or that you have had a connection with. I don't feel it's there or here right now, Taurus. Also, interestingly, not really getting their energy coming through that much, I don't feel. Although this could be their energy, the Seven of Swords. It could be that they're deceiving themselves about something. They're not being honest about something. They're not being, even though with the King of Swords here, seeing clearly and wanting clarity on something. Self-deception, also the word like self-damaging, like sabotaging yourself. This person could be doing that. They could also be doing that on again on a physical level, on a monetary level, or it could be that they're not in a situation at the moment where money is working for them, and because of that they're deceiving themselves in some way. They could even be blaming you about things as well, Taurus. There could be some blame going on here. Like they blame you for what happened in their life because it wasn't meant to turn out the way it did, or the way it has. Could also be something to do with that miserly energy that I was picking up on earlier as well. That this person is not giving anything away. That they're very much kind of holding on to what they've got, even with these Seven of Pentacles here. And they're kind of like, this is past energy, and this is them with what they're focusing their attention is very limited. Like they're limiting themselves by where they're putting their attention, and it's on lack rather than having. They're looking at what they don't have rather than what they do have, and so they are self-sabotaging themselves in that way, but they don't realize that they're doing that, and so they're blaming other people, possibly you, Taurus, whether you realize that or not. We've got the Seven of Pentacles again, and the Magician over the top of the King of Water here. So the Magician is it's that energy that I was literally just talking about, that kind of like lack of having. Focusing your attention. Where is this person focusing their attention? Are they focusing it on having, or are they focusing it on not having? And with this Seven of Pentacles here, he looks very remorseful, even though there's all this to gather in for the harvest, which is also kind of coming through with these Seven of Pentacles here. This harvest is there and it's kind of waiting for him, but he's not. It's almost like he's not satisfied with that. It's like it's not enough. So he's not enjoying. He's not in a place of enjoyment. And so this magician is kind of saying to me that that what he is creating at this time is just more sadness and more sorrow. And that could also have something to do with this King of Water energy here as well. The emotions could be kind of, you may be picking up on this, you may be affected by this, Taurus, but this person seems to be kind of in this creative mode, in this like, I want to create something in my life, I want something in my life, but they're kind of sabotaging that by just focusing on, literally, on the lack of it, or what they believe is the lack of it, when actually there is abundance there. It's right in front of them, but they can't actually even see it. They're not aware of it. They're not taking any notice of it. Whereas I feel for you, Taurus, this is where you're kind of going more into that energy. You're kind of like realizing that where you put your focus is really important. And this is what this kind of Hangman and Two of Earth energy is saying to me. You're recognizing that where you put your energy, where you put your focus, is what you're going to create. But you're trying to bring balance into the whole thing. You're trying to understand the process. Because you don't want to focus on lack. And this person's got the Chariot and the Hierophant as well. Again, big energy. I feel as though this person may be waking up to what they had with you, Taurus, what they were enjoying at that time, and maybe that's also got something to do with this energy here as well, is the fact that they're no longer in that energy with you. And that they just sense that like this lack of your presence or your energy around them, because I do feel as though you have completely taken that back step, as I said, and kind of drawn in your energy with this Hangman. It's like you've pulled it all in, but they're wanting to kind of bring it forward. They're wanting to bring themselves forward. I feel as though they want to. It's got like the star above them here as well. I feel as though they're kind of realizing that that is the star, is that destiny. They want to follow that star, and that star leads them to you, Taurus. And that they're ready for a commitment as well. There's kind of something here about this Hierophant, this commitment, this committed energy. They're also possibly ready to learn what you're teaching, Taurus. Because you're learning something rather major here, it feels. It feels like you're learning a huge process in your life. It's like you're really coming to some kind of creation, understanding. I'm not saying you're the only person that's ever done that, because that's not true. But all I'm saying is that for you personally, you are learning that, and it's a major step forward for you on many levels. And so I feel with this Hierophant energy here as well, that this person may want to come back in and kind of be guided by you, or have you kind of teach them what you know? Or what you're learning, and that they're more open to it now than they were previously, whereas before it was kind of like, with the two emperors, it was like an equal energy, but at the same time it was it feels like a possible like clashing of energies as well. And also with this Two of Rods here as well, they may not have been so open to understanding the process or understanding something that you knew, which could have been the whole point of you coming together in the first place. And or like I was saying, like two emperors together is like creating empires, but you didn't get to create an empire because don't know exactly why not. Don't know exactly why not, but it didn't happen. Doesn't mean it won't. Get back. Okay, I'm going to take this one because this is the only one that was turned over, and that's interesting because it's the Queen of Swords. So we have both the King and the Queen of Swords here. Again, like we've got this star on her sword as well. So there is this connection here as well, like star-crossed lovers even. But it's like they do kind of see each other on eye to eye. There could also be, again, that kind of battle. Of wanting to kind of, it could also be two people who understand each other very deeply on an intellectual level. But the Queen of Swords has come out over the Five of Earth here. And it's feeling somehow that this Queen of Swords energy is involved in this kind of enlightenment that's happening. It's like almost like she's there to kind of cut you out of this situation, so to speak, like cut you out of this kind of feeling. It feels like this stuck energy. But again, like I was saying, it is something that you need to go through. It's this process that you need to go through. But it does feel almost like something, like some event, something that's going to kind of happen between the two of you. It's going to kind of, yeah, literally like cutting away all that old and that dead and that kind of like unneeded stuff, all the past in a way. All of this stuff is like the past. And this queen is going to use her sword to kind of free you from this, release you from this. It's like she has the answer, she has the key, not the key necessarily, but she has the answer, or she has the insight. Or maybe that's what she wants to do. Maybe she wants to cut through that. And maybe you're not willing to make that, let that happen at this time. Because I do feel as though somebody is coming forward with this Chariot here. Somebody's back in the driving seat. Somebody's kind of learning. It's almost like you're both learning the same lesson in different ways, is how it's kind of coming through. You're both going through the same kind of process. And learning different lessons, different, there's something about your growth and your learning things. I might put another card on that 5 of Earth actually. Let's see what else. Another card for the 5 of Earth for Taurus and the person that they have a connection with. Thank you. King of Rods. So we also have the King and the Queen of Rods that have come out now as well. There's definitely a strong connection here. Definitely. Yeah, it just feels like a sense of growth, possibly even burning through things with rods. It's about fire, but it's not, there's no flame. There is no flame there. It's like something's tempered that flame. It's like something has kind of turned this staff, if you like, from something that's ablaze to something that's kind of, it's learnt, almost like it's got a crystal on the end is how it's looking to me, like a crystal rose or something, like it's like it's transformed, or like it's been through a lot of pressure. The Queen of Swords, whenever she has been through a lot, the Queen of Swords, she's a wise woman, but she's wise because she's suffered a lot of painful situations, a lot of trauma, a lot of, like with the Page of Swords here, like jumping into situations and learning them the hard way sometimes as well. But the King of Rods for me here is kind of there's something, I don't know if it's subdued, but there's an energy that's kind of, it's crystallized. It's like it's become more powerful in a way. I don't like the word powerful, but it's like it's gone from, it's like leveled up to another level. The frequency maybe has changed to a higher vibrational level, so it's almost like holding a staff that is like a magician's staff, is how it's coming through. And this is what I mean about this person also kind of going through similar experience as you are, Taurus, but in a very different kind of way. It's like you're both growing and learning separately. Because it does not feel as though this person's actually in your life. Although they may well want to be. They have been through a lot, and it does look like they have matured. And they have changed, their frequency has changed. They're vibrating on a different level to what they were when you first met them. And it's almost like an apologetic, like if you see here as well, it's like he's looking down, he's not looking directly, like he's not confrontational at all. He hasn't got like a confrontational look, where she's kind of looking very much at him in a very kind of like, I wouldn't say it's confrontational, but it's like, you know, she sees clearly. But I feel as though this is the same person. This is the same person that's energetically around you, Taurus. There's an element of growing, of maturing. They see something clearly, but they're also kind of, and because of that, they're no longer in that kind of like competitive, confrontational headspace. And we have 2 cards. Again, the 2 of Pentacles has come out as well for this person. So I do feel as though there is a lot of similarities going on with you, but you're not experiencing it in the same way, at the same time, or together. And this 2 of Pentacles kind of talks to me, and it's got the same symbol here as well as above the Magician's head. That figure of 8, I think it's known as the Witch's Cradle or the Lemniscat. That's here as well. It's like that energy that kind of just infinity. It's the infinity symbol, basically. It kind of like just goes on. If you put it that way up, it's the number 8, which is why the number 8 is seen as the number of fate, because it has no end and no beginning. And that's the same with this energy here. It's like kind of constant flow, keeping things flowing, keeping things connected. But it's interesting because this is what you're trying to do here, is connect these. This is what I was saying, you want to connect these, and here they are connected, and it's almost like the 2 of you are doing this process separately at the same time. And then the World card here comes out, but it is in reverse. So there is an ending of a cycle here. Something is finishing. There's an ending and a beginning, because the world always has a beginning. When something finishes, something starts. But it could be that this energy is taking a long time to actually end here. It's come out over the top of your 9 of Fire. That creative energy, that kind of realization that you are the one that's creating your whole life, is down to your own magic, so to speak, of bringing everything together. It's like with this Magician card here, if you see, he's got all those tools on his table. So he's got the rod in his hand, he's got the sword, he's got the cup and the pentacles. So he needs to kind of, well, that's interesting as well, because the rods, there's also a rod here as well, which is very similar to the King of Rods staff or wand that came out earlier. It's the same wand. So yeah, basically it's like the sword represents the idea, the thought, first moment of kind of like something interesting, sparking that kind of interest, an idea, creative moment. And then the cup represents the emotional side of it, how you feel about it, where you put your energy. It's the emotions, it's the emotions that feed into it. And then the creative side of it is the rod. So the rod is kind of the fire, the passion, the drive behind something. That's why the elements are so important, because they all come together to create. And it's all about where we kind of bring it into the physical with the pentacles. And we're doing it all the time. We're always creating. But the thing is, it's like, what are we focusing? Where are we focusing our attention when we're doing it? Are we focusing on the abundance or the lack of something? So, or the fact that it's not actually there, and because it's not actually there, we don't believe it's ever going to happen. It can't happen. It's beyond, it's an impossibility. So, with the world in reverse here as well, there could also be elements of that, like it's taking a long time. Whatever it is that is trying to be brought into existence, so to speak, here, and this balance is taking a long time for it to come together for this person, or this person feels as though it's taking a long time. Whereas I feel for you, Taurus, you are kind of more aware on some level of what your focus, where your focus is going, and what you're doing, and how it's all coming together for you. So I'm going to get a wild offering card for you, Taurus. There is a very strong connection here. I mean, there definitely is love there with the Two of Cups and the Prince of Cups upside down. But there is something about standing your ground as well here, Taurus. I have just noticed those keys under the Hierophant as well. Hierophant can be to do with commitment. It can also be to do with marriage, faith, religion, things that we believe in. Maybe the belief structure of this person may have changed. They may no longer believe things in the way that they did before as well. So we get enjoyment, Taurus, which is striving and pushing makes life into endless hard work. The more you're inviting love to take over, the more enjoyment comes. Allow me to enjoy this life, dear Lord. Again, you can change the last word to source, universe, creator, whatever it is that you would rather put there. That is kind of, I feel, what this reading is about, actually. Yeah, endless hard work. It feels as though you've kind of come to that realization that it's not just always about the actual hard work of something. It's like, you know, you can create without having to strive or, yeah, enjoyment. The enjoyment of it. Oh wow. That's the second time this card has come out. This card came out for Aries. Again, if you have any Aries in your chart, or the person that this is you're connecting with has Aries in their chart, check out the love reading for Aries. Possibly also the general read for Aries as well, because they got this card as well. Expect miracles. It's very interesting because it literally does kind of talk about the same thing again. So miracles occur naturally. They are always ready to unfold. Your angels are encouraging you to prepare yourself for them now. A miracle doesn't have to be an extravagant change in circumstances. It can be a simple shift of energy that creates a wave of love in your life. If you need something positive to happen, or you are praying hard for something, this card brings you the message that something exciting and healing is about to unfold. In order to help this along, you are being guided by your angels to recognize and honor your own self-worth. Realize that you are absolutely worthy of miracles, and they will unfold in your life. Your entire life has been brought together by miracles. They are happening all the time. And the miracle that you need isn't a difficult one, because in the hands of the divine, anything is possible. And the extended message for this, although it didn't come out upside down, but I'll read it anyway. It says, place yourself in a golden light. Remember that the light of God, again, source creative energy, is within you. Right there in the heart of your being, your soul. Good things can happen for you. But in order to manifest something wonderful in your life, you have to believe that it is possible. You could be seeing the miracle you need as impossible, or even as too big for you to achieve. Ultimately, this is exactly what is blocking it from happening. So change it now. Your angel guide is inviting you to open your mind and heart and see what you need being delivered to you. Feel that it is already in your life. Feel grateful for all your blessings, and you will allow the miracles you deserve to unfold. And that's the kind of magician energy that I was picking up on and trying to explain about how it works. All the different elements coming together to create something. And it's also what I feel is the process that you're undergoing here, Taurus, as well. Kind of realization, illumination, enlightenment on something, as your very center card. So I'm going to leave the reading there and say I do hope that it has been of some help to you. If it has, if you have enjoyed it, if you've learned anything from it, please could you thumbs it up for me. The more thumbs ups it gets, the more it gets out into the bigger YouTube world where other people can see the video. It can go onto other people's channels, it gets recommended because the algorithms on YouTube have picked it up. So it helps to just kind of take it out into that bigger, broader stage, so to speak. Also, there is a subscribe button on my channel as well, so if you want to subscribe to my channel, please just tap that button and a little bell will appear, and you can, if you want to, get my videos as and when they are coming out as well. Please share it if you feel that anybody else that you know may benefit from the information or the guidance from this reading at all. Please feel free to share it. Anything else? Can't think of anything else at the moment. Just thank you very much to those of you who have liked my videos. Thank you very much to those of you who have subscribed, and for those of you who haven't subscribed, if you want to subscribe, it would be lovely to have you here on my channel. I am trying to grow my channel at this time. There is a playlist as well for you to go and check out if you're interested in looking at my other videos. I do all the zodiac signs, I do the new moon and the full moon, I do the astrology and the tarot for both of them as well. So with all that being said, Taurus, I'm going to wish you all the best and ask you to take really good care of yourselves and also take care of anybody else around you at this time that you can. Thank you, Taurus. Hopefully